Question 1. Macronutrients and energy balance. Protein intake is essential for muscle repair and overall metabolic function. However, excessive protein consumption can have unintended consequences. Which of the following statements best describes the impact of excessive protein intake on the body? A. Excess protein is stored directly as muscle, leading to increased lean mass over time. B. High protein intake can increase kidney workload, potentially exacerbating kidney disease in individuals with pre-existing conditions. C. Consuming too much protein will result in an automatic increase in muscle synthesis, regardless of caloric intake. D. Excess protein has no metabolic consequences, as the body simply excretes what it does not use. Answer: B. High protein intake can increase kidney workload, potentially exacerbating kidney disease in individuals with pre-existing conditions. Explanation: while protein is crucial for muscle repair, excessive consumption does not automatically lead to increased muscle mass without adequate caloric intake and resistance training. Instead, excess protein is metabolized into glucose via gluconeogenesis or stored as fat if caloric intake exceeds expenditure. Additionally, excessive protein intake can increase nitrogen waste, which is filtered by the kidneys. Although healthy individuals can generally handle increased protein intake, those with kidney disease may experience worsened kidney function due to the added filtration burden. The National Kidney Foundation advises that individuals with impaired renal function monitor their protein intake carefully. A. Incorrect. Muscle mass growth requires a balance of adequate protein, training, and caloric intake. Excess protein alone does not guarantee muscle gain. C. Incorrect. Muscle synthesis is limited by training stimuli and other nutrients. Protein alone does not drive hypertrophy. D. Incorrect. While some excess protein is excreted, metabolic pathways do convert extra protein into energy or fat storage if necessary. Question 2. Scenario-based. Nutrition and chronic disease management. Michael, 52-year-old male client, has recently been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes and is seeking nutritional guidance to manage his blood sugar levels. He currently consumes diet high in refined carbohydrates and sugary beverages. His doctor has recommended dietary modifications. As his nutrition coach, which of the following is the most appropriate? Recommendation: A. Encourage low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet to maintain energy levels throughout the day. B. Recommend diet rich in whole grains, fiber, and lean protein while limiting processed carbohydrates and added sugars. C. Suggest an aggressive calorie deficit and zero-carb diet to rapidly lower blood glucose levels. D. Advise replacing sugary beverages with fruit juices to maintain hydration while avoiding processed sugars. Answer: B. Recommend a diet rich in whole grains, fiber, and lean protein while limiting processed carbohydrates and added sugars. Explanation: diabetes management involves regulating blood sugar levels through diet and lifestyle adjustments. The American Diabetes Association, ADA, recommends a balanced approach that includes fiber-rich foods such as whole grains, legumes, and vegetables, lean protein, and healthy fats while minimum refined carbohydrates and added sugars. Fiber slows glucose absorption, which helps prevent blood sugar spikes. A. Incorrect. A high-carbohydrate diet, particularly one with refined carbs, can lead to insulin resistance and increased blood sugar levels. C. Incorrect. Extremely low-carb diets can initially lower blood sugar but are difficult to sustain and may lead to nutrient deficiencies or ketoacidosis in some cases. D. Incorrect. While fruit juices may seem like a natural alternative, they contain concentrated sugars that can still spike glucose levels, making them a poor choice for diabetes management. Question 3. Supplementation and functional nutrition. A client is considering taking an omega-3 supplement for its potential cardiovascular benefits. As a certified nutrition coach, which of the following recommendations is the most evidence-based approach when advising the client? A. Recommend plant-based omega-3 sources like flax seeds and walnuts, as they provide the most bioavailable form of omega-3s. B. Suggest a high-dose fish oil supplement without concern for quality or sourcing, as all omega-3s provide the same benefits. C. Advise the client to look for fish oil supplements that contain both EPA and DHA, with third-party testing for purity and heavy metal contaminants. D. Disco omega-3 supplementation entirely, as there is no substantial scientific evidence supporting its benefits. Answer C. Advise the client to look for fish oil supplements that contain both EPA and DHA, with third-party testing for purity and heavy metal contaminants. Explanation: omega-3 fatty acids, particularly icosapentenoic acid (EPA) and docosahexaenoic acid (EHA), are well researched for their cardiovascular benefits, including reducing inflammation, lowering triglycerides, and improving heart health. The American Heart Association Aya recommends consuming fatty fish such as salmon or mackerel at least twice a week, or supplementing with a high-quality fish oil product that contains both EPA and EHA. Third-party testing ensures purity and safety, reducing the risk of heavy metal contamination, e.g. mercury. A. Incorrect. While flax seeds and walnuts provide alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, the conversion rate to EPA and EHA in the human body is inefficient, making them less effective than direct sources. B. Incorrect. Not all omega-3 supplements are created equal. Equality and sourcing matter. High doses from low-quality fish oil can introduce contaminants like PCBs or rancidity issues. D. Incorrect. Numerous clinical studies support omega-3's role in cardiovascular health, inflammation reduction, and cognitive function. Question 4. Energy balance and metabolism. One of the biggest challenges in weight management is accurately determining an individual's energy needs. Many factors influence person's total daily energy expenditure (TD), including basal metabolic rate (BMR), activity level, and thermic effect of food (TEF). However, the human body also undergoes metabolic adaptations in response to changes in calorie intake. Consider scenario: client has been on calorie-restricted diet for several months but has reached plateau weight loss despite maintaining the same caloric intake and exercise regimen. What is the most likely reason for this plateau, and what is the best course of action to break it? A. The client's metabolism has slowed down due to adaptive thermogenesis, and they should further reduce their caloric intake to continue losing weight. B. The client is likely underreporting their food intake, and they should meticulously track their calories to ensure accuracy. C. The client's body has adapted to the lower energy intake by decreasing BR and incorporating strategic refeeding or increasing energy expenditure through resistance training. Help. D. The client is experiencing metabolic damage, and the only solution is to completely stop dieting for an extended period before resuming weight loss. Answer C. The client's body has adapted to the lower energy intake by decreasing BMR and incorporating strategic refeeding or increasing energy expenditure through resistance training may help. Explanation: when an individual maintains prolonged caloric deficit, the body adapts by slowing down BMR to conserve energy, process known as adaptive thermogenesis. This metabolic adaptation makes further weight loss challenging. Continuing to reduce calories, which can exacerbate metabolic slowdown. The best approach is to incorporate strategic refeeding days or increase resistance training to help maintain muscle mass and boost metabolism. Option is incorrect because further reducing calories may lead to excessive muscle loss and increased metabolic slowdown. Option B is partially correct as calorie tracking is useful, but metabolic adaptation still occurs even with accurate intake tracking. Option D is incorrect because metabolic damage is misnomer. Metabolism adapts, but it is not permanently damaged. Strategic interventions can help restore metabolic rate over time. Question 5. Nutrition and chronic disease. Cardiovascular health. Cholesterol management is a key aspect of preventing cardiovascular disease. While dietary cholesterol was previously believed to play a major role in blood cholesterol levels, more recent research suggests that other dietary factors have stronger influence on cardiovascular health. Which of the following dietary strategies is most effective in lowering LDL bad cholesterol while improving overall heart health? A. Reducing intake of all fats, including saturated and unsaturated fats, to minimize cholesterol absorption. B. Increasing fiber intake from sources like oats, legumes, and flax seeds while replacing saturated fats with unsaturated fats. C. Eliminating all cholesterol-containing foods, such as eggs and shellfish, to prevent cholesterol buildup in arteries. D. Consuming high-protein diet with lean meats and dairy while avoid carbohydrates to prevent fat storage. Answer B. Increasing fiber intake from sources like oats, legumes, and flax seeds while replacing saturated fats with unsaturated fats. Explanation: increasing soluble fiber intake, e.g. from oats, legumes, and flax seeds, helps reduce LDL cholesterol by binding to cholesterol in the gut and preventing its absorption. Replacing saturated fats with unsaturated fats, e.g. from nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fat, improves lipid profiles by raising HDL, good cholesterol, and lowering LDL. Option is incorrect because while reducing saturated fat is beneficial, eliminating all fats, including healthy unsaturated fats, is unnecessary and can negatively affect overall health. Option C is incorrect because dietary cholesterol has minimal impact on blood cholesterol for most individuals. Eggs and shellfish can be part of a heart-healthy diet. Option D is incorrect because a high-protein, low-carb diet does not directly lower LDL and may have mixed effects on cardiovascular health depending on food choices. Question 6. Behavioral coaching and client communication. Scenario-based. Samantha, 42-year-old client, has struggled with emotional eating for years. She often finds herself binge eating unhealthy snacks late at night after stressful workdays. She expresses frustration because she understands nutrition principles but feels she has no control over her eating habits. As certified nutrition coach, which of the following approaches would be them? Effective in helping Samantha overcome her emotional eating pattern. A. Educate Samantha on strict calorie counting and instruct her to eliminate all trigger foods from her home to prevent binge eating. B. Use motivational interviewing techniques to help Samantha identify her emotional triggers and develop alternative coping mechanisms, such as journaling or mindful eating. C. Recommend structured meal plan with rigid eating times to prevent unplanned eating and create disciplined routine. D. Suggest Samantha try ketogenic diet, as eliminating carbohydrates may reduce cravings and prevent emotional binge eating. Answer. B. Use motivational interviewing techniques to help Samantha identify her emotional triggers and develop alternative coping mechanisms, such as journaling or mindful eating. Explanation. Emotional eating is often driven by psychological and emotional triggers rather than hunger. The most effective approach is to use motivational interviewing techniques to explore Samantha's emotional triggers and help her develop alternative coping mechanisms, as journaling, mindful eating, or engaging in stress-reducing activities. Option is incorrect because strict calorie counting and food elimination can increase stress and trigger binge eating behaviors. Option C is partially correct, as structured meals can help, but rigid rules may not address the emotional root cause of the issue. Option D is incorrect because while some people experience reduced cravings on ketogenic diet, it does not address the underlying emotional triggers. Question 7. Supplementation and functional nutrition. Probiotics and gut health. The gut microbiome plays a significant role in digestion, immune function, and even mental health. Recent research suggests that probiotics can help restore gut balance and alleviate certain digestive issues. Which of the following statements about probiotics is most accurate? A. Probiotics are only beneficial if taken daily, as missing dose renders them ineffective. B. Fermented foods, such as yogurt and kimchi, provide probiotics that support gut health and should be included in balanced diet. C. Probiotics are only useful for individuals with diagnosed digestive disorders and provide no benefit for the general population. D. All probiotic strains have the same function, so any sub-labeled probiotic will provide equal benefits. Answer. B. Fermented foods, such as yogurt and kimchi, provide probiotics that support gut health and should be included in a balanced diet. Explanation. Fermented foods such as yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, and kefir naturally contain probiotics, which help maintain gut microbial diversity and support digestion, while probiotic supplements can be useful. A diet rich in fermented foods can provide similar benefits. Option is incorrect because while regular probiotic intake is beneficial, missing a dose does not eliminate their effectiveness. Option C is incorrect because probiotics can be beneficial for both individuals with digestive disorders and healthy individuals. Option D is incorrect because different probiotic strains serve different purposes. For example, lactobacillus strains support digestion, while bifidobacterium strains are linked to immune function. Question 8. Macronutrient metabolism. Protein and muscle growth. John is a 30-year-old recreational athlete who wants to build muscle and optimize his recovery after workouts. He currently consumes about 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. However, he has noticed slow muscle growth despite consistent resistance training. Which of the following strategies would be most effective in helping John improve hypertrophy? A. Increase his protein intake to 1.6 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight and distribute it evenly across meals. B. Consume all his daily protein in one large meal post-workout to maximize muscle protein synthesis. C. Focus on increasing carbohydrate intake as protein intake is less relevant to muscle growth. D. Reduce protein intake to avoid excess strain on his kidneys and rely primarily on supplements like B-cars. Answer A increases protein intake to 1.6, 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight and distribute it evenly across meals. Explanation. For muscle hypertrophy, research suggests that consuming 1.6, 2.2 grams of protein per day is optimal. Distributing protein intake evenly across meals every 3-4 hours helps maintain muscle protein synthesis (MPS) throughout the day. Option B is incorrect because consuming all protein in one meal is inefficient. Muscles require consistent stimulation of MPS. Option C is incorrect because carbohydrates support energy needs but do not directly drive muscle growth. Option D is incorrect because high-protein diets do not harm healthy kidneys and whole food protein sources are superior to isolated BK supplements. Question 9. Micronutrients. Vitamin deficiencies and performance. Iron is crucial micronutrient for oxygen transport and energy production. Athletes, especially females and endurance athletes, are at high risk of iron deficiency. Which of the following symptoms is most indicative of iron deficiency anemia in an athlete? A. Muscle cramping and electrolyte imbalances. B. Slow wound healing and frequent infections. C. Fatigue, shortness of breath, and decreased exercise endurance. D. Joint pain and increased risk of stress fractures. Answer C. Fatigue, shortness of breath, and decreased exercise endurance. Explanation. Iron is essential for hemoglobin production, which transports oxygen in the blood. A deficiency leads to fatigue, weakness, shortness of breath, and reduced endurance performance due to impaired oxygen delivery to muscles. Option is incorrect because muscle cramping is more related to electrolyte imbalances, sodium, potassium, magnesium. Option B is incorrect as it is more associated with zinc deficiency. Option D is incorrect because stress fractures are more linked to calcium and vitamin D deficiencies rather than iron. Question 10. Hydration and electrolyte balance. Exercise physiology. Dehydration negatively impacts performance, yet overhydration can also be dangerous. Hyponatremia, low blood sodium levels, occurs when an athlete drinks excessive water without replacing electrolytes. Which of the following is a common symptom of hyponatremia during endurance events? A. Extreme thirst and dry mouth. B. Swelling, confusion, and nausea. C. High blood pressure and dehydration. D. Increased sweating and rapid heartbeat. Answer B. Swelling, confusion, and nausea. Explanation. Hyponatremia occurs when excessive water intake dilutes sodium levels in the blood. Symptoms include swelling due to fluid imbalance, confusion, nausea, headaches, and in severe cases, seizures or coma. Option is incorrect because thirst is a symptom of dehydration, not overhydration. Option C is incorrect because hyponatremia is associated with low blood sodium, not high blood pressure. Option D is incorrect because sweating and rapid heartbeat are more common with dehydration. Question 11. Sports nutrition. Energy systems and fueling strategies. During high-intensity exercise, the body relies primarily on carbohydrates as its main energy source. Which of the following is the best pre-workout meal to enhance performance in high-intensity sprint workout? A. High-fat meal with avocado, nuts, and cheese to provide long-lasting energy. B. Protein shake with whey protein and no carbohydrates to prevent muscle breakdown. C. Carbohydrate-rich meal such as oatmeal with banana and honey consumed 1-2 hours before exercise. D. Fiber-heavy meal with beans and lentils to sustain energy throughout the workout. Answer C. A carbohydrate-rich meal such as oatmeal with banana and honey consumed 1-2 hours before exercise. Explanation. Carbohydrates are the primary fuel for high-intensity exercise. Meal like oatmeal with banana and honey provides fast-digesting carbs that maximize glycogen stores before workout. Option is incorrect because high-fat meals digest slowly and are not ideal for immediate energy. Option B is incorrect as carbs, not just protein, are essential for performance. Option D is incorrect because fiber-heavy meals can cause bloating and ghee distress during exercise. Question 12. Hormonal regulation. Cortisol and stress management. Cortisol is often called the stress hormone because it is released during physical and emotional stress. While essential for energy regulation, chronically high cortisol levels can negatively affect body composition and performance. Which of the following practices is most effective in reducing chronically high cortisol levels? A. Fasting for extended periods to reduce blood glucose fluctuations. B. high-intensity interval training, HIIT, every day to improve stress tolerance. C. Prioritizing sleep, practicing mindfulness, and reducing caffeine intake. D. Consuming high amounts of stimulants, such as caffeine, to counteract fatigue. Answer: C. Prioritizing sleep, practicing mindfulness, and reducing caffeine intake. Explanation: chronic stress elevates cortisol, leading to increased fat storage, muscle breakdown, and poor recovery. Effective strategies include adequate sleep, stress management, meditation, deep breathing, and limiting caffeine, which can increase cortisol production. Option is incorrect because fasting can sometimes increase cortisol due to low blood glucose levels. Option B is incorrect because excessive HIIT can further elevate cortisol instead of reducing it. Option D is incorrect as high caffeine intake spikes cortisol levels. Question 13. Gut health. Fiber and digestive function. Fiber plays key role in digestive health, yet many people do not consume enough fiber in their diets. Which of the following statements about fiber is most accurate? A. Insoluble fiber slows digestion and helps stabilize blood sugar. B. Soluble fiber helps lower cholesterol and supports gut microbiome health. C. Fiber has no role in appetite regulation. D. Only plant-based foods contain fiber. Animal products are also high in fiber. Answer: B. Soluble fiber helps lower cholesterol and supports gut microbiome health. Explanation: soluble fiber, e.g., found in oats, beans, apples, binds to cholesterol and feeds beneficial gut bacteria, promoting microbiome health. Option is incorrect because insoluble fiber speeds up digestion and does not stabilize blood sugar. Option C is incorrect as fiber helps with satiety and appetite regulation. Option D is incorrect because fiber is only found in plant-based foods, not animal products. Question 14. Weight management. Thermic effect of food, TEF. The thermic effect of food, TEF, refers to the energy required to digest, absorb, and metabolize nutrients. Which macronutrient has the highest TEF? A. Carbohydrates. B. Fats. C. Proteins. D. Alcohol. Answer: C. Proteins. Explanation: protein has the highest TEF, 2.30%, meaning 2.30% of its calories are burned during digestion. This makes protein useful for weight management and muscle retention. Carbohydrates have TEF of 5.10%. Fats have the lowest TEF, 0.3%. Alcohol has TEF of 10%, but it's not macronutrient essential for metabolism. Question 15. Macronutrient ratios. Personalized nutrition and performance. Sarah's marathon runner training for race. She is concerned about energy levels and muscle recovery. She wants to ensure her macronutrient intake is optimal for endurance performance. Which of the following macronutrient distributions would be most appropriate for Sarah's training needs? A. 50% protein, 30% fat, 20% carbohydrates. B. 70% carbohydrates, 15% protein, 15% fat. C. 20% carbohydrates, 40% protein, 40% fat, low carb. High fat approach. D. 33% carbohydrates, 33% protein, 33% fat. Answer: B. 70% carbohydrates, 15% protein, 15% fat. Explanation: endurance athletes like Sarah rely primarily on carbohydrates for sustained energy. A high carb intake, 60-70% of total calories, ensures adequate glycogen stores for endurance training. Option is incorrect because 50% protein is excessive and does not provide sufficient carbohydrates. Option C is incorrect as low carb, high-fat diet is not ideal for marathon runners who need fast energy from glycogen. Option D is incorrect because balanced macronutrient split does not prioritize Sarah's endurance needs. Question 16. Nutrient timing. Muscle recovery and growth. After resistance training session, which of the following post-workout nutrition strategies is most effective for muscle recovery and growth? A. Consuming protein-rich meal 3-4 grams within 3-6 minutes after training combined with carbohydrates. B. Delaying protein intake for several hours to allow the body to absorb nutrients gradually. C. Focusing solely on fats post-workout as fats help with long-term energy storage. D. Skipping food post-workout and fasting to increase growth hormone levels. Answer: A. Consuming a protein-rich meal 3-4 grams within 3-6 minutes after training combined with carbohydrates. Explanation: Post-workout nutrition is essential for muscle repair and growth. The best approach is to consume 3040 grams of protein combined with carbohydrates within 3060 minutes to replenish glycogen and stimulate muscle protein synthesis. PS. Option B is incorrect because delaying protein intake reduces the anabolic response. Option C is incorrect because fats are not the primary macronutrient for muscle recovery. Option D is incorrect because fasting post-workout does not optimize recovery. Question 17. Electrolyte imbalance. Sodium and potassium balance. Mark is an athlete training in hot and humid climate. After long workout, he experiences dizziness, muscle cramps, and confusion. What is the most likely cause of Mark's symptoms? A. Dehydration due to inadequate fluid intake. B. Hyponatremia, low sodium levels from excessive water intake without electrolytes. C. Hypokalemia, low potassium levels from not consuming enough bananas. D. Hypoglycemia, low blood sugar from inadequate carbohydrate intake. Answer. B. Hyponatremia, low sodium levels from excessive water intake without electrolytes. Explanation. Mark's symptoms indicate hyponatremia, which occurs when sodium levels drop due to excessive water intake without electrolyte replacement. This is common in endurance athletes who overhydrate but do not replace lost sodium. Option is incorrect because dehydration causes thirst and dark urine rather than confusion and dizziness. Option C is incorrect as potassium depletion mainly leads to weakness and irregular heartbeats, not confusion. Option D is incorrect because hypoglycemia causes shakiness and hunger, not sodium-related symptoms. Question 18. Ghee distress. Fiber and digestion in athletes. Which of the following dietary strategies is best for an athlete experiencing gastrointestinal ghee distress during long-distance runs? A. Increasing fiber intake before workouts to promote digestion. B. Consuming meal high in fat and protein before exercise for sustained energy. C. Reducing fiber intake and focusing on simple, easily digestible carbohydrates pre-run. D. Avoiding fluids altogether to minimize bloating and discomfort. Answer. C. Reducing fiber intake and focusing on simple, easily digestible carbohydrates pre-run. Explanation. Athletes prone to ghee distress should reduce fiber intake before training and consume easily digestible carbohydrates. G. White rice, bananas to minimize bloating and cramping. Option is incorrect because fiber before a workout can cause bloating. Option B is incorrect as fats and protein slow digestion, which can lead to discomfort. Option D is incorrect because hydration is essential for performance. Question 19. Blood sugar control. Glycemic index and energy levels. Which of the following pre-workout meal choices would best provide sustained energy for a 2-hour training session? A. White bread with honey and fruit juice. B. Oatmeal with almond butter and banana. C. Candy bar with soda for quick energy. D. High protein steak with vegetables. Answer. B. Oatmeal with almond butter and banana. Explanation. Oatmeal, almond butter, and banana provide a combination of complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, and some protein, ensuring steady blood sugar levels and long-lasting energy. Option and C are incorrect because high ghee foods like white bread and candy cause blood sugar spikes and crashes. Option D is incorrect because protein and fats take longer to digest and do not provide quick energy. Question 20. Supplementation. Omega-3s and inflammation control. Which of the following athletes would most benefit from an omega-3 fatty acid supplement? A. Sprinter looking to increase speed and power. B. Bodybuilder aiming to maximize muscle mass. C. An endurance athlete needing to reduce inflammation and improve recovery. D. Gymnast focusing on balance and flexibility. Answer. C. An endurance athlete needing to reduce inflammation and improve recovery. Explanation. Omega-3s, EPA and EHA, help reduce inflammation, making them beneficial for endurance athletes who experience muscle soreness and prolonged recovery times. Option is incorrect because omega-3s do not directly improve speed. Option B is incorrect as omega-3s do not significantly impact muscle growth. Option D is incorrect because omega-3s do not directly affect flexibility. Question 21. Thermoregulation. Heat acclimatization and performance. Which strategy is most effective for an athlete adapting to training in extreme heat? A. Training in an air-conditioned gym to avoid excessive sweating. B. Gradually increasing exposure to heat over 7-4 days while maintaining hydration. C. Wearing heavy clothing to force the body to sweat more. D. Skipping hydration breaks to train the body to handle dehydration. Answer B. Gradually increasing exposure to heat over 7-14 days while maintaining hydration. Explanation. Heat acclimatization involves gradual exposure over 7-14 days, allowing the body to adapt to increased sweating and improve thermoregulation. Option is incorrect because avoiding heat does not build tolerance. Option C is incorrect as wearing heavy clothing can cause heat exhaustion. Option D is incorrect because dehydration impairs performance. Question 22. Metabolism and energy systems. Production in exercise during 100-meter sprint, which energy system is primarily used to generate aerobic oxidation of carbohydrates and fats. B. Anaerobic glycolysis using glucose. C. Phosphagon APC system relying on creatine phosphate. D. Beta oxidation of fatty acids for long-term energy. Answer C. Phosphagon APC system relying on creatine phosphate. Explanation. The phosphagon APC system is the primary energy system for short, intense bursts of activity lasting less than 10 seconds, such as a 100-meter sprint. This system does not require oxygen and relies on stored creatine phosphate (CP) to rapidly regenerate. Option is incorrect because aerobic metabolism is too slow for short, explosive activities. Option B is incorrect because anaerobic glycolysis dominates in 30-second to 2-minute efforts, not sprints. Option D is incorrect because fat oxidation is primarily used in endurance activities. Question 23. Hydration, sweat rate and fluid replacement. John is a basketball player who loses approximately 2.5 liters of sweat per hour during games. What is the best hydration strategy to prevent dehydration and maintain performance? A. Drink only when thirsty to prevent overhydration. B. Consume small amounts of water, 500 ml/hour to avoid bloating. C. Rehydrate by drinking fluids equal to sweat loss, 2.5 hour including electrolytes. D. Rely on sports drinks with high sugar content to replace lost fluids. Correct answer. C. Rehydrate by drinking fluids equal to sweat loss, 2.5 hour including electrolytes. Explanation. John should aim to match fluid intake with sweat loss, 2.5 L per hour including electrolytes, sodium, potassium, to prevent dehydration, maintain blood volume and prevent muscle cramps. Option is incorrect because thirst is not a reliable indicator of hydration status. Option B is incorrect as 500 L/hour is insufficient for a high sweat rate. Option D is incorrect because sports drinks with high sugar content can cause GI distress. Question 24. Fat loss and energy balance. Caloric deficit strategies. Emma wants to lose fat while preserving muscle mass. Which approach is most effective for achieving this goal? A. Eating 1200 calories per day, regardless of activity level. B. Creating moderate caloric deficit 300-500 kcal while maintaining protein intake and resistance training. C. Eliminating carbohydrates entirely to force fat burning. D. Relying on excessive cardio while eating fewer than 800 calories daily. Answer. B. Creating a moderate caloric deficit 300-500 kcal while maintaining protein intake and resistance training. Explanation. Moderate caloric deficit 300-500 kcal with high protein intake and strength training is the best approach for fat loss while preserving muscle mass. Option is incorrect because 1200 kcal may be too low for some individuals and could result in muscle loss. Option C is incorrect as carbohydrates are essential for energy and eliminating them is unnecessary. Option D is incorrect because severe calorie restriction and excessive cardio can lead to muscle loss and metabolic slowdown. Question 25. Strength training. Progressive overload and adaptation. Which of the following is the best example of progressive overload and resistance training? A. Performing the same workout at the same intensity every session. B. Increasing weight reps or sets gradually over time. C. Switching exercises every session without structured plan. D. Avoiding resistance training to prevent injury. Answer. B. Increasing weight reps or sets gradually over time. Explanation. Progressive overload is the gradual increase of weight repetitions or training volume over time to stimulate muscle adaptation and strength gains. Option is incorrect because training without progression leads to plateaus. Option C is incorrect as random exercise variation does not ensure structured progression. Option D is incorrect because avoiding resistance training prevents strength development. Question 26. Gut health and probiotics. Role in digestion and immunity. Which of the following individuals would benefit most from probiotic supplement? A. An endurance athlete recovering from recent round of antibiotics. B. Weightlifter focusing on muscle hypertrophy. C. Sprinter looking to enhance explosive power. D. Bodybuilder consuming high protein diet for lean mass gain. Answer A. An endurance athlete recovering from a recent round of antibiotics. Explanation. Probiotics help restore gut microbiome balance, especially after antibiotic use, which can disrupt healthy bacteria. Endurance athletes with frequent gut issues and inflammation may benefit from probiotics. Option B, C, and D are incorrect, as muscle hypertrophy, sprint performance, and protein digestion do not directly require probiotics. Question 27. Insulin sensitivity. Carbohydrate timing and blood sugar control for an individual with insulin resistance. Which dietary approach would be most beneficial? A. Consuming high carbohydrates frequently throughout the day. B. Eating balanced diet with fiber, protein, and healthy fats to control blood sugar. C. Eliminating all carbohydrates, even fiber-rich ones. D. Relying solely on fruit juices for energy. Answer B. Eating a balanced diet with fiber, protein, and healthy fats to control blood sugar. Explanation. A balanced diet with fiber, protein, and healthy fat slows glucose absorption and improves insulin sensitivity, reducing blood sugar spikes. Option A is incorrect because high carbs worsen insulin resistance. Option C is incorrect because fiber-rich carbs are beneficial. Option D is incorrect as fruit juice causes rapid blood sugar spikes. Question 20. Vitamin D and performance. Role in bone health and immunity. Which athlete is at the highest risk of vitamin D deficiency? A. Swimmer who trains indoors year-round. B. Soccer player who trains outdoors daily. C. Beach volleyball player in sunny climate. D. Construction worker with frequent sun exposure. Answer A. A swimmer who trains indoors year-round. Explanation. Indoor athletes, like swimmers, receive minimal sunlight exposure, increasing the risk of vitamin D deficiency, which affects bone density, immune function, and muscle strength. Option B, C, and D are incorrect, as outdoor activity increases vitamin D production. Question 29. Endurance training. Fuel utilization and glycogen depletion during 3-hour endurance race. Which macronutrient is the primary fuel source? A. Carbohydrates, muscle glycogen, and blood glucose. B. Protein, amino acids from muscle breakdown. C. Fat, stored triglycerides, a slow energy source. D. Creatine phosphate, APC system. Answer A. Carbohydrates, muscle glycogen, and blood glucose. Explanation. Carbohydrates are the primary fuel source for endurance activities because they provide quick and efficient energy via muscle glycogen and blood glucose. Option B is incorrect, as protein is not a major energy source unless glycogen is depleted. Option C is incorrect because fats are slower to metabolize and are used in lower intensity efforts. Option D is incorrect since the APC system lasts only 10 seconds. Question 30. Nutritional deficiencies. Iron and oxygen transport. Which symptom is most commonly associated with iron deficiency anemia in athletes? A. Rapid muscle growth and increased endurance. B. Fatigue, shortness of breath, and decreased performance. C. Increased recovery speed and stronger immune function. D. Enhanced blood clotting and improved hydration levels. Answer B. Fatigue, shortness of breath, and decreased performance. Explanation. Iron deficiency anemia reduces oxygen delivery to muscles, causing fatigue, breathlessness, and poor endurance performance. Option is incorrect, as iron deficiency impairs muscle function. Options C and D are incorrect because anemia weakens the immune system and does not enhance hydration.